Like
That's
people
why
are
there's
just
not a lot of left-handed people out there anymore.
yeah. We bred them out. We bred them out of the population. Have fun trying to find a left-handed pair of scissors in this freaking messed up world, dude.
It's a good way to start this off. All right. Elevator Pitch is back. The only podcast pitching fake movies to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Hello.
That's him right there.
Hi.
That guy is also producer of the pod, mixed media artist. Welcome to the Octagon, the real Octagon. You're in front of the cameras now, Tanner Roberts.
Hi.
You got nervous right there.
Oh my god.
Go back to your rock voice. It was a lot more assertive.
What's going on, fellas?
You sound like you're like gonna do my taxes right now.
The Rock is interestingly breathy, and as a guy that
Breathy?
yeah, like that's kind of an acting trope for him, in my opinion, is that he, like, when you're like The Rock act, he gets very like, what?
Yeah.
And maybe that's how I'll do the impression from now. We'll see how it goes.
Well, it's very like monologue based because a lot of his acting training came from having a microphone in the middle of a ring. You know?
Yeah.
Which takes us to the Smashing Machine, a different type of wrestling performance for The Rock, a much more serious one.
And you know, typically in wrestling, I feel like the vibe is like, let's get the crowd going, let's get them pumped, let's get them excited.
Yeah.
This one is very boring and like hard to sit
hold on.
through and like not that great.
Wait, dude, we got some house cleaning or housekeeping to do before we start putting the Smashing Machine in a triangle hold. Yeah. Keep it reel it back in.
You're right.
Tanner.
You're right.
Start producing.
You're right.
No, all I was gonna say is that Will is not with us today.
He died in a car crash.
Will is he's in Croatia right now.
Which is a good place.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
What do you mean?
It sounds like...
Do you think everything is on fire?
Well,
like
it just sounds like in my opinion, it sounds like the name of it, I would have thought that it's like a war-torn spot.
Wow.
But it's like a beautiful place.
Jesus, man. You know how many Croatian listeners we have?
Probably a lot. That's kind of the thing I found about secret office pods, is that they tend to form an audience in the strangest places.
What up, Split? But Will's in Croatia with his wife,
His honey.
on his honeymoon.
He wifed her up.
Yeah, man.
He's now officially Will Singleton.
Your last name.
He took her last name.
Is it Rachel Peters? Did she take his last name?
Not only did she take his last name, and I don't know if I should say this on the pod, but she changed her Instagram to Rachel Peters.
Well, people do that pretty quickly. That's like a quick thing.
That's
normal. That's normal.
That's such a. I mean, speaking of pitching to future rock, that is a sign that we are in the future. That you're saying, like, it's just normal, you know. You get married, you change your Instagram handle, you make it a Facebook official,
Facebook official,
You take your flying car and you go to Planet Smells On. I don't know.
You go to Planet Croatia?
You go to Planet Croatia, which is things are going great over there right now.
I think so. I've seen some photos on the Instagram, on Rachel Peters' Instagram.
Dude, it's literally it looks beautiful. The wedding. I know that this isn't a review of Will Peters' wedding.
No, but we were in Nashville over the weekend.
Yes.
I posted some photos on the Elevator Pitch Instagram account. We swiftly lost 10 followers when I did that.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
They don't care about us. They care about
movies. Fuck them. You know.
Fuck the audience.
Fuck everyone who's not in Croatia right now. That's
I
what
agree.
I gotta say. Yeah. And if you are, Tanner thinks that you're in a war-torn country.
I did. No longer.
But yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we were at the wedding. We had a great time. We went out in Nashville. We went to Broadway. We did all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was truly. I am just beside myself with how beautiful the wedding was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good that Will Peters got married.
You're reading off a prepared statement?
Yes. and that was
from the Singletons.
I think it's pretty incredible that I needed to prepare that statement.
I thought you were you with us when we were talking to Rachel's dad, right? Or was that just I thought you guys had a good interaction. Yeah,
I did have a great.
Yeah. I kind of liked witnessing all your interactions with Will's family. Now
you missed me talking to Rachel's grandma.
Oh, I didn't meet any of the grandparents.
I went up there and I was like, "What's up, Firecracker?" I saw you.
Said, "What's up, Firecracker?"
Yeah, I was like, you got to you got to get down on their level, and that's
what does that mean?
That's like old slang. Like, "What's up, Firecracker?" And
down on their level. Wow.
I was like, I seen you up leading the conga line. And she was like, "Yeah, you know me." I was like, "You got anything to drink? You want me to get you a drink?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Nah, I'm just drinking water." I'm like, "Shoot, man. I guess that your night ends here then, because my night is carrying this whiskey I'm drinking is carrying me all the way to downtown Nashville.
No, to Midtown, to Oldies.
Midtown, Old Town, Doldies, like wherever you want to go. Odie's. I left before you. You were there late. Yeah, it was the fucking longest night of my life.
That was a long night. Anyway, that's our little recap.
Yeah, Will Peters got married.
Yeah.
So.
But no, that's why he's not here. So, Tanner, you're going to be with me this week.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing like a Will Peters type beat.
Okay. And then and then next week we got a few more guys from the office that you work in to do something a little different. But I challenge you with the Smashing Machine because it simultaneously had a lot of things that I think are intriguing to you. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You're a known fan of like
Schlut. Not slut. Sorry.
Slut?
Schlut? I was thinking like splot or like
slop. You mean
slop?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I think that was the word of the year in 2024. But a known slop enthusiast like yourself. I'm guessing Rampage and Skyscraper, and possibly even The Game Plan are favorites of yours, maybe.
Yeah, I love The Game Plan.
Yeah.
Rampage was a cultural phenomenon where I was from.
It's all the CGI apes.
It's just, we love monkeys.
Jungle Cruise, you get into that one?
I didn't. That's kind of past my time.
Okay, but we're kind of on maybe Scorpion King.
I never saw Scorpion King.
I never did either. I was kind of hoping you'd be like
bring in some knowledge
like Mr. Roberts has a Scorpion King flag in his garage right now or something. But anyway, but the Smashing Machine is as people have discussed, and we don't have to explicitly, but a departure from this type of movie, and as you already kind of let the cat out of the bag, you thought was quite a boring departure. Would you say?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. I just think a movie about a guy that's like kind of interesting.
Mark Kerr, the pioneering MMA wrestler.
Yeah. But he's not
mixed martial artist, unlike you, a mixed media artist. Yeah.
He's not like it's not like we're making a movie about Hulk Hogan or Macho Man Randy Savage, like someone that's like interesting through and through and like has this weird life. Mark Kerr is like a pretty normal guy, and
I don't know. He's got some crazy stuff.
He's got some crazy stuff. Like I would say that Mark Kerr, like if I met him at a bar, I'd be like, yeah, you're a pretty interesting guy. Like you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'd say that me and Mark Kerr are on the same level of interesting, and I don't think either of us need.
You think you're?
I do.
You're there.
I might even be a little more interesting than Mark Kerr, if I'm being honest. And I'll say that right now, calling you out, Mark. Get on my. Mark Kerr, this is Tanner Roberts, and I'm calling you out. And I know this one's going to be clipped. I know how it works. You look down the barrel of the camera, that gets clipped. That's how it works. Mark Kerr, I'm coming for you. You come to my address. It's on the screen. Put Will Peters' address right here.
I'm going to put his Airbnb in Croatia.
Yeah, dude. Let's see how fucking hard Mark wants to go. How far are you willing to go, Mark, to defend your title as guy that deserves a 3-hour movie?
It was a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, but it felt like it was 10 hours. And that is kind of the crux of my argument against this movie, is that I feel like this guy did not need this long of a movie. And I'll even take a stand that all these movies about real life guys don't need to be this long. I think the best version, and I think what this movie did well is that we didn't see him as a kid.
Yeah.
We didn't see him as. I mean, we saw him kind of as an old man.
It was spoiler alert. The end of the movie, he gets groceries. We'll just say but it's actually him though. I've never actually seen that specifically done in the way that they did it in a movie.
He laughs in the parking lot of a grocery store.
I liked him getting groceries. I liked it. I mean, in general, I liked this movie more than you did.
Yeah, if you liked it, well, I liked it. I'm being hard on it, Mark.
You texted me. I'm pulling up the chat here. You texted me. Saw it. What a fucking slog. That's what you said.
That was the splot word I was looking for.
No, but I want to before we start building our Dwayne The Rock Johnson pitch. I do want to kind of like pick into something that you said though about real people inspiring movies, because Benny Safdie, the director of this movie, he comes from the downtown New York independent film scene, making, pseudo experimental films for about 15 years, and movies that are shot on location with shoestring budgets, and they become increasingly more expensive, kind of leading to Uncut Gems, which is an insane movie with Adam Sandler, but another movie that has like non-actors playing parts, and a very, I would say, documentary style feel, a very heightened hyper, with all the music and moving camera and stuff. But in a lot of ways, like his movies, they feel very fly on the wall, right? Naturalistic, and in a way that's that can kind of freak us the fuck out in those movies, but is a little more calm in this movie. And you'd think that would fit very well into making a movie about a real person, right? The way they shot this was, it really literally felt like you were just with this dude in 1998.
Yeah.
In a gym, or on the street of Japan, or at his house in Arizona. Now, there's a couple hurdles with that though, I think. The first hurdle is that if you are going to religiously stick to that naturalistic documentary style approach, then you're inherently skipping a lot of the beats that movie-going audiences, at least American movie-going audiences, like want out of a sports movie, Like a big thing I noticed was like the Rocky-esque montage to My Way. Like, first of all, not using, I think was it an Elvis version of My Way? It was, right? Yeah. So they use, not a B-side, but like not the Sinatra version. So we're going to use a different version of My Way, and it's a slower song. And a lot of what that montage was, it was training, but it was like him like declining down the stairs, and him like walking slowly on the mat. It wasn't him sprinting on the beach to Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Or, it was like, it bucked the trend of a lot of what that kind of sports montage is. So it was like very naturalistic in that way. And that's the first thing, is you're going to go against a lot of that. The second part is, if your subject matter is, not Rocky Balboa, but is this like pioneering figure of a niche sport that was relatively unknown at the time that he did it. I think part of the narrative problem that you're kind of coming into is that it's inherently like a less cinematic story a lot of the time, because people who are the first adopters at something, it's not necessarily the most exciting time. No one understands what you're doing things into relative obscurity, and it's not this like the whole world is watching. In fact, like not a lot of people are watching. So with those two things, that was horrific. I'm not just unloaded a Lucy into his
and then
can.
Fucking put another one in the can, baby.
I'm not surprised at this movie after seeing it, like understanding what it is. I'm like not actually surprised that it has gotten this kind of like, I don't want to say tepid response, but like at least financially, it kind of bombed at the box office. And also from you kind of saying like it was a little slow. I liked it. I thought it was like a really cool and interesting and beautifully made movie that like had me thinking about a lot of stuff, kind of around what it means to be the first at something. But that being said, it's not the most stirring movie to me, and I think that's something to be said about like what defines a modern sports movie now,
I think two things. One, I see a lot of people hitting this is the lowest grossing Rock movie ever.
Yeah. Which is a conversation that he put upon himself by being the biggest movie star in the world. Yeah.
And I will say that even though I didn't really. I thought this was the slowest movie. I thought this movie was slow like a snail, slow like a ice cube melting in a refrigerator, like not a freezer. Sorry, we're getting too deep into the metaphor. What are you doing? Let me go.
Go back to the fucking producer chair.
You're right. I think that those people need to shut up. Those people just like such a uninteresting opinion to have. Like, oh, this is gonna be the lowest gross. It's like whatever. I think that people that are talking about that are coming from the other Rock movies.
They're also coming from like Collider.com. It's a very like clickbaity conversation.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And two, is there a possibility? Because I like what you're saying about the early adopter. Like it's not quite as interesting.
It's interesting, but it's not cinematic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should this not have been a sports movie as heavily? Or at least, was it marketed too much as a sports movie? Because can you really make, I don't know. Because what you're saying about the Rocky thing, where like there's all of these like very like plastic bits in the Rocky movie that's like, and this is the training montage where he goes to fight the Russians. And that's
talking in Rock movies or sports movies?
I'm talking about the Rocky movies,
okay.
But sports movies broadly, as like there is the training montage, there's
beats to hit.
The underdog's gonna beat the big guy at the end. Like, can you not make a sports movie? Because what happened? I guess this kind of happens in the Rocky movies. Is that he gets
Rocky?
Older.
Sorry, I thought you were saying Rocky. Yeah, I got he gets older. Yeah,
he gets older, and that is kind of like that is the natural progression of a sports career. Is that you get older, and then slowly you get worse, and like you'd like to think that somebody could retire with like a little bit of grace and like go out at the top, but nobody ever goes out at the top.
No,
that sucks. That's lame.
Yeah. It's the addiction to the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I think they nailed really hard in this movie.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like Dwayne The Rock Johnson God complex that was very reflexive through the Mark Kerr. Like, why are you getting your face bashed in or potentially getting your face bashed in? And the answer to that, I think, was effectively done in that first kind of monologue, which is like, this guy spent the first 10 years of his career just basically running through dudes in like Brazil and college wrestling. It's like nobody could touch this fucking dude.
Yeah.
And you get kind of addicted to that feeling, and the relatively small but still crowds, and obviously that leading to the whole addiction portion of the movie, which slows down the movie's kind of momentum, I think, sports-wise at least.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really quite. I think that this could have been. Can I switch gears just for 1 second?
Yeah.
I think that this year has been a great example. I think constantly there's technology coming out that's like, oh, fuck, our movie's over. Are we not going to have movies anymore because everything's going to be AI? If this was the last year ever that they made movies, this is going to go down in history as a fucking awesome year in movies.
Good movie year.
I think this is maybe while I've been alive, and obviously I'm prone to speak in grandeur.
Yeah, I mean, you do come from a Scorpion King family through
exactly.
and through.
Come on, my dad's got a flag in his garage, I think. But I think that this may be one of the best movie years I've ever been alive for in my experience.
Okay.
Like, I think that like every movie I go and see in theaters is epic all the time. It's like, oh, remember we saw that movie last weekend, and there's a movie coming out next weekend, and we have this to look forward to at the end of the year.
So you liked One Battle when you saw that this week too?
I loved One Battle. I thought that might be the best movie of the year. If that doesn't win Best Picture, I'm gonna freaking go Mark Kerr on some fucking old.
You just called him Hollywood out though.
Mark,
I'm gonna go get like Mark Coleman. I'm calling you out now.
But I'm saying this because
you're a sissy.
I think the fact that I'm so critical of this movie really shows how much this year has had me grow as a person that watches movies, because there's been so much like good, like quality, like just stuff to sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching this, and it's The Rock in like this crazy, like transformative role. And I'm like, it was a little long for me. I wouldn't have done it so long.
Well, that's like my biggest, and just to throw us more off track, like my biggest problem with the film podcastification of movie discussion, which now like I'm not a part of in a professional way, but in kind of a hobby way, I guess. But like, so like one of the least favorite things that I find myself saying a lot of the times, like, yeah, that movie worked for me. or like, I think that was effective. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like a Ford, dude, like a Ford Focus? Like what?
Ren told me earlier today, which totally reminded me of you. He's like, you know what my least favorite part about
Elevator pitches?
No, my least favorite part about the Rock movie,
the Smashing Machine.
Oh
yeah, we're just talking. Yeah.
That's the one. Terrible with names.
Mark Kerr, I can't even remember the name of your fucking movie.
You fucking loser. I would have beat Coleman in that last fight.
He didn't even get to Coleman, dude.
I don't know.
I loved how all of his opponents were they were like the Japanese guys in Tokyo, like the local wrestlers. They were like 5'5" and like fat. It's like,
yeah,
dude,
all heavy.
It's like, dude, like come on, like it's like cast someone as strong as. Yeah, that was crazy.
But Ren said that the Smash Machine was the perfect example of a movie that a film bro such as yourself would describe as it insists upon itself.
Oh,
and I was like,
the old Family Guy joke.
And I was like, I kind of get that.
You think so? You think it insists upon itself?
I think it kind of insists upon itself.
I think The Rock.
Matthew. Can I call you Matthew?
Yeah, you can call me Matthew. Yeah. That's interesting. I wouldn't say it's the most insistent, and I only say that because it's only 2 hours. I feel like a movie has to be 2.5 hours to insist upon itself, but maybe that's
if you had asked me coming out of that movie theater how long that movie was, I would have said 18 hours long. I want a full bout with this movie, and there was multiple cards to this fight, and I was just hanging on for dear life.
You were in pain. You had to take some Advil.
Yeah, I had to take some Advil.
Honey, you want some? They're giving them out like candy.
Come on,
Emily Blunt though.
I think that she was the standout performance. Am I crazy for saying that?
I mean, she's just an incredible actor.
Yes.
I don't know if this is a low statement, but I thought she looked smoking hot in this movie.
Oh, dude. And I looked
this
up
is like the hottest she's looked since the Cruise movie. I forget what that was.
I looked up what his wife actually looked like. If I was his wife, I would be.
Well, they showed her at the end of the movie. Oh, you must have not. You must have sprinted out after.
I was gone. I saw Mark Kerr walking around that parking lot giggling, and I was like, I'm out of here. This is the end, and I know it.
You were like, I'm going to go find you, Mark Kerr.
I'm coming for you, Mark. Please don't hurt
December 8th, the Jacksonville Sporting Dome.
You know where you can find me opening day of The Running Man. I'm going to be at the Grove 14.
You go to the Grove and Mark Kerr like chokes you out. Dude, like you're like it's like Lou Ferrigno and I Love You, Man.
That would be fucking awesome. if I go to the Grove and the Smashing Machine smashes me, yeah. I'm gonna go into the Running Man being like, yeah, this is the highest I've ever been. I'm gonna be chasing that high for the rest of my life, calling out.
It's the most concussed you've ever been.
Calling out former wrestlers every day for the rest of my life, just like
Rey Mysterio.
I'm coming for you next, Ray.
Wait, what happened?
He punched me so hard in the face, the left side stopped working.
Oh man.
But yeah, dude, the Smashing Machine. Wow, what a movie.
Emily Blunt, you liked her.
Blunt.
Yeah.
She was I think that the fact that it was so, I felt like they didn't give her, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sometimes I say shit and I'm just like, I hope this
No,
lands.
please insist upon yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Matthew. Can I call you Matthew?
I've actually taken Rachel's last name, and now that she doesn't want it.
Matthew Singleton. Yeah. She's just giving this shit out to anybody. But I felt like they didn't really give her like a ton, and in the little bit that they gave her, there was so much. Like, I understood like where she was coming from. I understood like why she felt this way. They kind of had this, like how my mom describes it, when her sister, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, when someone she knows does it. Therapy words, like where they're like clearly have been to marriage counseling because they're using all of these words that reflect like someone taught us how to speak to each other nicely, but also kind of that, like, what she was like as a kid. There was just so much there, and I was like, that's awesome.
I think both of them, and especially her, like and this is very much goes back to the naturalistic approach of Benny Safdie to the Smashing Machine, but these characters, like both of them, are kind of shitty in a lot of ways, you know, and that in and itself does not work as broadly or understandably for a sports movie, especially, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're complicated people in a way that's actually it takes more time to unpack their relationship than it does be like, all right, he's the good, affable guy with the heart of gold, with the chip on his shoulder, and she's Adrian, and you know, it's not that. It's like, well, she's got some good qualities. She loves him, and she's very caring, and she supports it. But then you're like, oh wait, don't. And then that kind of leads to that, you know, the spoiler alert, but the scene where she goes up to her bedroom and it becomes, you know, Goodfellas for a second.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, the Mark Kerr guy, it's like, wow, this guy's larger than life. He's the coolest guy or whatever. And then you're like, oh, this guy like berates people for not trimming the cactus the right way at the pool. And I think that is much more human, but it also makes it more complicated to like enjoy the comeback story part of the movie. And like, it's something that like with her character, Emily Blunt's character, I mean, it gives her a little more nuance. But in and again, I mean, Emily Blunt, who proven to be able to lead a movie, she's great. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't understand why she seems like exclusively takes parts of like the supporting wife of the great man. And everyone like gets back at being like, well, why doesn't Emily Blunt have enough to do in these movies? It's like, well, why is she taking that part? There's like less qualified actresses who might, you know, who we wouldn't have that spotlight on them in a way that would allow the movie to kind of operate as like a singular protagonist movie in a way that might be more effective. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say that because like she's great, you know. Yeah. It's not like I want like a better actress than her, but you know.
If usually, and this is a tangent, but it loops back around. I've been like every weekend I pretty much latch on to like one little like thing that I thought of, and I'm like, I'm going to talk about this all weekend. Mm-hmm. One time it was that I thought I was
your
like
weekend topic.
Exactly.
That's like a pioneer right there. I'm gonna write that down. Dude, yeah. The weekend topic.
One weekend I was like, oh dude, imagine living in New York in the late 80s and you see a guy in a trench coat and you think, man, there could be anything under there. And then you and your buddy just go like, what if it's a turtle? What if he's a ninja?
What if it's two kids?
What if he lives in the sewers? And that's how they came up with the Ninja Turtles. I talked about that for a whole weekend. This weekend.
Wait, let's go back there. So you're saying, what if you see a guy in a trench coat?
You see a guy in a trench coat.
Maybe it's a turtle.
No.
Maybe it's a ninja.
You and your buddy,
yeah,
like are high. You're smoking on your back porch. It's the '80s where you smoke probably
Coke.
Coke. We smoke Coke. But my buddy smokes Pepsi. I don't know. That's not even a fucking joke. But you and your buddy are smoking Coke on your back porch, and you see a guy in New York in a trench coat, and it's dark outside.
Yeah.
And you're like. You're trying to come up with a script, you're trying to come up with a story, you're looking for anything, and you just go like, what could, like, anything could be underneath that trench coat.
Yeah.
And you kind of like slowly go like, what if it's a fucking like mutant, a turtle mutant, and then you come up with the whole backstory behind just this one guy in a trench coat.
Yeah.
But
what people used to do when they're bored.
Yes. I literally talked about that to everybody I met at a bar for a whole weekend.
Okay.
But this weekend, I was kind of on the wave of movies and art kind of being like medicine and sugar. In that, like take a guy's dad. A lot of guys' dads will be like, Rambo is awesome.
Yeah.
Rambo's one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. But if you actually watch Rambo, it's a
sad movie.
It's a sad movie.
You're talking about First Blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a sad movie. It's very reflective of like where Vietnam veterans were at the time. And you're just like, whoa.
I mean, when he's crying, it's...
Yeah. And people's dads are like, yeah, Rambo's awesome. And you're just like, really? Like, I mean, I agree, but that's just crazy to hear you say Mr. Tim. Like, this is my buddy's dad.
Is his last name or first name? Tim?
First name. He was kind of like one of the cool dads. He let us drink, but only beer. Let's not get crazy. Love you, Mr. Tim.
He didn't let you smoke Coke.
He didn't let us smoke
only
Coke.
Pepsi.
It wasn't the 80s, dude. Only Pepsi. That's right. But there's this thing with movies that like I feel like we've kind of maybe speaking in a grand sense,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like is a bad way to deal with this. I feel like a lot of younger people have lost the medicine that comes along with the movies. Like they're so just like sugar movies that are bad for you.
They're like content.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, I hope I'm not cutting you off early, but you're leading me exactly to kind of the conversation about The Rock's next movies or where he wants to go.
Yes. I'm glad I'm leading you there because
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea.
Well, I think The Rock comes like excelled in a moment in movies where, I mean, it was like obviously it's funny that it coincided with the superhero movies because he was not a superhero until he like very late in the game he did Black Adam and that was like not.
And do you know how that movie ends?
No.
He rips the devil in half.
Oh, he rips the devil in half?
He grabs him by both arms and he rips him in half.
That's incredible.
It's literally the coolest end to a movie ever.
The Rock would like to make 4-quadrant films, or he would. I mean, that's what his whole career strategy was.
Yeah.
And it coincided with, like, as I said, the superhero movies in a way that, like, this type of, like, commercialization was, like, almost, like, celebrated in movies for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like, people, like, were actually, like, celebrating the fact that he could put, like, brand deals in movies and, like, make 4-quadrant films that had tie-ins with his own tequila brand or was able to, like, more so run a business empire out of movie making rather than make Rambo, you know? But instead, like, pry off the idea of what Rambo is and then turn it into an activation for Amazon Prime Day, you know, that goes with, and it's the same thing with like Ryan Reynolds, you know?
Yeah.
You know, Ryan Reynolds is like openly he was celebrated for like buying like a mobile carrier service company and obviously the Welcome to Wrexham thing. There was this idea that like actors are business people, not in a sense of underworld, but not underworld like drugs. I mean, underworld like side businesses where they're not talked about, or not even way like Paul Newman with like Newman's Own Dressing, like celebrated for charitable business, right? Yeah. Like building a massive business that donates a lot to charity. It was like, no. These guys are like celebrated for like movies being a tertiary part of this like massive money-making empire that they're creating. And I think the tide is just kind of turning on that amount of scale, both in the movies themselves, which, you know, as you're saying, like didn't have a lot of that like challenging narrative to them because that would actually negate their ability to sell tequila or mobile service plans or whatever it is. And instead, like, I don't know, Taylor Swift catching a lot of shit for the new album.
Garbage.
Ryan Reynolds is like, I constantly, people are throwing shit at that guy now.
Yeah.
And The Rock was like just largely clowned for the first couple of years before this movie came out, you know? And people thought it was funny that there was like a press statement that was basically like, The Rock has decided to make good movies.
Yeah.
And people thought it was funny because like The Rock, it was like almost like the biggest kept secret that they were like, The Rock knows he's making bad movies, you know? This GQ article that Zach Baron wrote last year, I think I've talked about on the show before, is like such a good encapsulation of like how two things can be true, where it's like The Rock is magnetic and really can make larger than life things like Santa Claus Bodyguard or something become very human in a weird way and be able to sell these massive high concept things that turn into 4-quadrant entertainment. And that's an accomplishment and a challenge in itself. But it's also then his biggest struggle when trying to tap into something more real.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because this didn't work financially. So the question is, where does he go from here trying to do it? I mean, he's going to do a live action Moana movie. I think that's probably a mistake, but it's going to make a lot of money.
Moana's supposed to be fat.
Dude, no, Maui's like pretty yoked, dude.
No, Maui is supposed to be like the guy that sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow or whatever.
No, that's Israel.
That's what he looks like.
Oh.
Like, that's what Maui's supposed to look like. He is strong, but he's supposed to look like Israel, whatever his name is, in my mind. It's like reading a book, and then they adapt it into a movie, and you're like, this isn't what it was supposed to be like at all. God, he's fucking rude.
Do you hear that glass? There's a glass just shatter. I'll tell you why. Because Austin Wells just left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th.
Oh, my God.
And it's 5-1 Blue Jays right now.
Damn it. Against the Yankees?
Yeah.
I know baseball.
There you go. You're wearing an Aaron Judge almost Friday sweatshirt.
Stop.
But yeah, I mean, it's It's an interesting question.
I think that I think that such a boring. This is I don't know if we talked about this in the episode or before the episode, but I was like, I guess they're not even gonna have movies anymore because now everything's gonna be AI.
You could AI a couple of those Rock movies.
You could AI a couple of those Rock movies.
Yeah.
I don't think you could AI this movie. I don't think
No.
you can AI bad movies.
Yeah.
AI bad movies, easy.
I don't think anyone's coming out at this movie like this is generic. You
No.
know? Yeah.
That's the one thing I'll say.
Yeah.
Even as somebody that thought it was long and boring, I was like, it was very thoughtful and very much had like this side to it. I should have come on the AI podcast.
What's the AI podcast?
Just the podcast where we talk about the future of movies and AI.
We should. I mean, yes, we'll get to your conference at South by Southwest this year, of course, where you're doing this.
I just literally can't stand anybody.
Should we pitch movies to Tilly Norwood, the fake actress?
We should pitch Tilly Norwood into an Inferno, and I can say that because she's not real and never will be real. I give a fuck. You know what's crazy about that is it's a company that invented that, and they think that fucking you think Warner Brothers is gonna pay you for a fake lady? No, they're gonna make their own fake lady. The fuck are you doing, you fucking idiots?
Tilly's pretty bad though.
Like bad at acting or bad like fat ass?
I mean, I thought she was kind of pretty. Damn.
I mean, yeah, she got a donk.
Damn, yeah, Tilly
she
Norwood.
Tilly Norwood got a donk on her, but like, what, it's fucking. I know girls with donks on them that can't act for shit. The fuck?
Damn, Tilly Norwood hitting Pilates.
Nah, dude, Tilly Norwood. I'm gonna give that girl a virus. Just sounds terrible. But
Wait,
she's
what?
a
No.
fake girl. She's a fake girl. I would make
What
that very
the fuck
clear.
did you say?
I'm gonna give her a virus.
Don't say that.
I am.
You are
I'll
going
say
to
it.
give Mark Kerr a beatdown, though.
I'm gonna give Mark Kerr a beat down, Tilly
no,
Norwood a virus, and I'm gonna give everyone in the '80s. I'll let them choose Coke or Pepsi.
All right, and with that, do you have an idea of where you would want The Rock to go in his next move after these? By the way, he famously is someone who's like choosing release dates before he has a script for a movie. You know what I mean by that? Mm-hmm. He'll be like big Christmas movie with myself playing the bodyguard of Santa Claus is going to come out December 20th, 2027. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to like, let's get Jake Kasdan to direct. Yeah. Let's get these 8 cracked up screenwriters to write this thing. And like he'll like build it reverse operating. Obviously that does not make for Rambo crying in a police station in the woods.
God, such a good movie.
Do you have any kind of direction you'd want? Do you want to see him marrying the entertainer with the actor? Do you want to see him just go back to the entertainer?
My big thing with The Rock is like, let's utilize the number one piece of The Rock. He's huge.
Let's utilize it.
He's a unit. The character he's playing, we don't need him to play like a guy that works at like a fucking insurance company, because it's like we could have Ryan Reynolds play him, or like Charlie Day, or like a 4th actor that I know. I only know 4 actors. Well, I only know 3.
Well, you know Tilly Norwood.
Or we could have Tilly Norwood play this, whatever. I think that The Rock's got to play somebody huge.
Yeah.
And like, I would say, what is a good huge guy? I don't know how exactly this works. Am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just talking.
What is a good huge guy that like hasn't had a movie made about him? And
so you want him to make a movie about like a real person again.
It doesn't have to be a real person, but like what's a guy like a bouncer? A bouncer's always huge, unless it's me.
He dresses like a bouncer in all of his movies.
He does dress like a bouncer in all his movies. But like imagine like a Cocktail, or like
Cocktail with Cruise?
Cocktail with Cruise. But I'm just saying.
Do you like Cocktail?
I like Cocktails and I like Cocktail.
I didn't know you've seen Cocktail.
Of course I've seen
You
Cocktail.
know I love Cocktail.
I know you love Cocktail. You're the guy that writes The Pioneer. Of course you fucking love Cocktail, dude. Come on. What the fuck are we talking about here?
I have used a couple photos of Coughlin before on the Pioneer.
But what is the movie that Jake Gyllenhaal just remade that was a Patrick Swayze movie?
Roadhouse. That was actually the first episode of this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a movie about a bouncer, right?
A cooler.
A cooler, a bouncer.
There's a
an
difference.
upper, a downer, a Pepsi, a Coke. Listen.
A bouncer's at a bar, cooler's at a Roadhouse.
I think that
A cooler takes things outside, too.
that's what I would say is like who's a big guy in the world that we could make a movie about?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Schwarzenegger and Stallone. I guess Stallone's kind of short, but Schwarzenegger, other massive dude who was sort of able to do this, but like had like James Cameron making movies with him in a way that he could be like Robot Killing Machine, but he had, you know, one of the greatest filmmakers ever make that Robot Killing Machine movie, and then he would go and make a comedy, and it wouldn't be. I mean, like Rawson Marshall Thurder, I think his name is, who made Dodgeball, has made like 12 movies with The Rock, but I think like Ivan Reitman makes Twins, right, with Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, and like Twins is like an Ivan Reitman directed movie, whereas like any movie that Rawson Marshall Thurder is making with The Rock is still like a Rock directed movie at the end. No offense to Rawson, but it's just to give up that control that he did with the Smashing Machine for more commercial projects.
I like
would
the
be
idea,
an interesting concept.
I like the idea of twins.
Yeah.
And
you think you should make twins?
Well, picking two people that are like total opposites. So like buddy The Rock up with somebody.
We did that with Kevin Hart a couple times, right?
Yeah, but they're not. The
movies just aren't very good.
They're not good.
Yeah.
And we see Arnold Schwarzenegger all the time over here.
You see Schwarzenegger here? Oh, because he goes to Gold Gym.
Pretty much every day he rides his bike outside the office.
Get out.
Swear to God.
That's crazy.
I know. I feel like that's kind of like a good vibe for this pod. Like, yeah, we live in Hollywood. Yeah, I see like Arnold Schwarzenegger like every fucking day, dude.
I didn't know that. How's he look?
Really old and frail, but like in like a cool way. In a way where you're like, you're good. He's riding his bike.
Yeah.
But anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that the idea of let's put him up with, okay, it doesn't have to be a small guy, because in this movie, kind of like he's playing off of his wife. I feel that's like the second character, and she's like this like small frail woman that, or you know, not. But kind of what's so cool about it is that she has so much power in that relationship.
Yes.
Like she'll be like, hit me. And he's like, fuck, I can't.
Well, I actually like that part. Is like, because she knew that, I think this was explicitly said, but she knows that the best way he can express himself is through punching,
smashing.
And then it's always that tension of like, oh wait, he's not gonna
hit her though, right? Because she's hot. She's got a total dong got her.
Tanner, we talked about this.
Delay.
But they kind of play with it in the music of like, yeah, is this guy gonna snap? And then one time he does. To say he punched that door is like an understatement.
Yeah, he fucking ripped that door into little tiny pieces, dude. He fucking shredded that thing. He smashed that.
I mean, it was probably a fake door, but like his arm went through that door like quicker than like my arm goes through air. Mm-hmm. And then it was like stuck in it, and then he like ripped the door like in half to get his arm out. Yeah.
That
was kind of crazy.
Anytime that guy was fucking smashing was electric. Yeah, it was good stuff.
And then the only time he does put her kind of in a submission hold is when she's, you know, going to harm herself. Mm-hmm. So I thought the movie was very intentional about the way they used that, like, or they used The Rock's physical imposing threat, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't really fuck anybody up outside of the ring.
No. I think that, like, if there was a, if that, you know, you're talking about Roadhouse, you know, like the whole idea about Roadhouse is that, like, Swayze, and I guess Gyllenhaal was like an MMA one in the new one, but I just don't want to pretend like that one's real.
Yeah.
Was like that he like accidentally killed a guy.
Yeah.
And then was like, you know, he ripped a guy's throat out. Mm-hmm. The Rock never accidentally does something before. He's always just like in Skyscraper or something, he's just like, I'm the chief of security and I have one leg. You know, it's not like I'm the head of security, or it's like I'm never like the security guard at this building and I have like a bad job because I like accidentally fucking killed someone 15 years ago. He would never want to paint himself as that person.
What about The Rock, gentle giant?
Yeah.
So, like in LA, you see it a lot, like in kind of these more dangerous areas. He's the security guard outside of an elementary school.
Yeah.
That could be, maybe that's what our pitch could be. Something.
All right. It's a little dark for today's climate around schools, though, you know.
But dude, I mean, are we making movies? Are we making 4-quadrant movies? Or are we making movies for the common man? Are we making movies for?
That's true.
We're making specific movies for specific problems.
I think, you know, what's an interesting one he could do is, do you ever see that Michelle Pfeiffer movie where she goes into the inner city, Dangerous Minds? Mm-mm. It's like it's kind of a like what Spike Lee would maybe call a a white savior complex movie, but like Michelle Pfeiffer goes into like the inner city to like teach all these like kids like English or something. It's actually a pretty fun movie. I like it. But
it sounds
what if
fun,
we
sounds
did
fun.
that with like what if The Rock like was like a philosophy teacher in prison?
Yeah, and
Right.
maybe like his backstory could be
Like he was a former
he killed someone.
yeah.
He was a killer, and we're watching like it's kind of something that I've been coming to terms with a lot lately. The fact that everything any old person has ever told me that I've written off is like, shut up, old fucking fart, like whatever. I'm like, oh god damn it, they were right. they're like you know you're not young forever, and I'm like, what? Shut up, shut the fuck up. And then you get older and you're like, oh, my knees hurt a lot.
How old are you?
4,000 years old.
Wait, stick on what we were doing though before.
You're talking about Philosopher in Prison?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just the idea that he's a killer, but he is the old man. He's the guy who has killed.
Yeah, he's Morgan Freeman in Shawshank.
Yes. And he's like, trust me.
Yeah.
I know what you guys think. You guys think you can stab each other, hit each other, punch each other.
Yeah.
And obviously, at a certain point, he has to, these guys are going to get rowdy, rambunctious,
Rehabilitated?
and he's got to take them in.
Yeah.
He's got to put one guy in a headlock.
And he's able to teach them Thoreau or Descartes because he can put them in a headlock. And maybe there's like a scene where he's like, turn to page 37. And the guy's like, fuck you. And then he like charges him and he fucking equalizes him just
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And everyone's like,
He's like, now turn to page
he's
37.
like, what do you want to think with your fists or do you want to think with your mind?
Well, you know what? Actually, I was editing this this Star Wars video recently.
Yeah.
And there's this part when these stormtroopers come up.
Yeah.
And they're just like drinking at Star Wars Land, and the music is like crazy, like dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun dun.
yeah.
And then there's this part where like Kylo Ren like looks across the park, sees them, and walks up, and the music kind of like really subtles out.
Yeah.
And you kind of realize that sometimes the more subtle stuff is really the scary stuff. Like you can like
Yeah.
really like charge up it and be like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh, they're getting attacked by a bunch of stormtroopers. But when it gets quiet,
Yeah.
and it gets like serious for a second.
Yeah. Interstellar. Dun, dun.
And I think that maybe that is kind of what the like we're over here like, yeah, but when does he put him in a headlock? And it's like maybe it really is that control that he has
Yeah.
that shows them like this isn't the way.
Yeah.
Violence solves nothing.
Yeah. So we're in the prison. Do we have any prisoners for this movie? Do you have any suggestions for prisoners?
I think that in the way that The Rock is trying to look now, I think we need to surround him possibly with serious actors.
Okay.
Like, I think that will get him taken more seriously in the way that it seems like he wants.
I was gonna say Machine Gun Kelly should be a prisoner, but let's go serious actors. I like that better.
Only because I think that we put a machine gun in there, we put a heart in there,
Yeah.
and all of a
Well,
sudden,
it's not a comedy. I'm not gonna put Hard in there.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to see the series. Is Machine Gun Kelly in any serious movies?
Is he in any movies? I think. Oh yeah, he was in The Dirt. Didn't he play someone in
He was in the
Cheap
dirt.
Trick.
He was in the mud.
He's in Mud with McConaughey. Machine Gun Kelly's he's done some acting before, but I like serious actors. Maybe like a Lucas Hedges. Remember that guy
Yes.
from Lady Bird? We'll rough him up. Remember Paul Dano was in that prison show? I don't know.
What if we did
Wood Harris, he'd be a good one.
I was gonna say, what if we did? What's that guy that's in The Boys?
Like the leader of them?
Yeah.
Oh, Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a tough ass. Like he could be like, I could see
Would you
him.
put like a swastika on his forehead? Is he like white power type vibes or?
Yeah, I guess we need someone who's unredeemable. So maybe Carl Urban. I just feel like we need somebody that, in my mind,
Yeah.
and they could be totally different sizes. One
Yeah.
could be way bigger. Carl Urban feels like equal size, but still like feeling like opposite ends of the world as The Rock. So he could be like the heavy, the one that like really tries to push The Rock's buttons and is unredeemable.
Is he as big as him, do you think?
I think in the movie he's as big as him.
Interesting. Who would that be? Fuck.
I think Carl Urban.
Maybe it's Mark Coleman.
Yeah, dude. Real Mark Coleman, not that fake ass bullshit. Ooh, you know, what's the guy? Did you ever see My Name is Earl?
I never watched it, but you mean Jason Lee, the guy who starred in it?
No. The guy that plays his buddy. He was like a fat, chubby guy in that show, and now he's like totally.
Oh yeah,
jacked and
Ethan
huge.
Suplee. He's a good actor. He's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
actor. He's in a bunch of those. You know, like the people we have to look at for these roles is he was in The Terminal List is what he was in, but the Taylor Sheridan shows.
Yes.
Like Lioness, or any of like the Yellowstone spinoffs. Possibly a Landman. You know that guy LaMonica Garrett?
Yes.
Oh, dude, LaMonica Garrett would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look up LaMonica Garrett on the road only, please, people.
Like only look him up when you're driving.
Yes,
Cool.
that's what I tell people on the show is they should save all their
up on
Googles for the 405.
You missed 2 episodes, and all of a sudden you're out of the loop on all these fucking inside
All the
jokes.
lore, man.
All the lore.
Anyway, I like this so far though.
Yeah, so he's a go into a. Where is the prison?
I feel like it should be.
Are we talking Dusty? Are we talking Rikers? Are we talking?
Dude, I think it should be in like Florida. I think it should be in your state.
What if it was about?
Because he's like a Miami guy, I think.
You know how they're. Well, no. I was gonna say that Alligator Alcatraz seems like an interesting like setting for a movie, but I think that they're only holding like immigrants there, and
Wait,
that's not
what?
really the vibe.
Alcatraz, like the island?
Alligator Alcatraz is
What's
like.
that?
I don't want to get into politics on this, but it's like a Trump thing where he's trying to make an Alcatraz in the Everglades. Where they but it seems like they're just keeping immigrants there. So
Okay,
That's
yeah,
not
we'll
that is not the clientele that we're trying to get The Rock to rehabilitate.
maybe just like Everglades. He's done a few Florida. Maybe he did Pain and Gain with Michael Bay.
which is awesome.
He's done a couple Florida movies. Pain and Gain was like Pain and Gain walked so the Smashing Machine could, I guess, not run, but that was like his first, because that was him and Michael Bay both looking at each other like, hey, let's make something more real than we usually do, and it didn't work very well.
You didn't like that movie?
It's not that I didn't like it, which I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's I think more that it just wasn't successful.
Did you like Ambulance?
I loved Ambulance.
I liked Ambulance.
I loved, like, that's like, I think Michael Bay being like, I'm really good at this thing, and I'm actually better at this thing than most people are, and I'm going to stick with that rather than
Try and be something I'm not.
try to be something a little more serious, you know?
He's the guy that made the Got Milk commercial. He's the fucking king.
Yeah, Michael Bay, good Instagram account. I got an idea for the warden. I think we should go female warden.
I like it.
Are you allowed to have a female warden at male prisons? Is that
Yeah.
maybe in this movie you are?
My cousin's wife is a female warden at a male prison.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. She want to be in this movie?
I think she's got a lot of work.
She got a lot of prisoners to worry about. Yeah. All right. What about dude? Should we use Felicity Huffman, the woman who went to jail for the college cheating scandal?
The wife of the guy that makes the Target clothes, or am I crazy?
No. Her husband is William H. Macy, like Shameless guy.
Oh.
But Felicity Huffman, great actress, who has not acted for a while because she went to prison for paying for SAT scores for her daughter to get into college.
But you can't care about your kids anymore?
Yeah, that's what she. But like that being like kind of like, oh, she's now
Doing a movie about
about prisons. Yeah,
and she would get it. I think that's
she might get it.
Yeah. She'd be like, that's never how you would hold a shank or something.
Dude, I don't think she's.
I don't know, man. Those white collar prisons I heard are pretty fucking tough.
The other idea I had was like a Kevin Bacon for a warden.
Kevin Bacon seems like the obvious choice. I feel like we should go with that. It's gonna make it feel too cartoony. He's got a face that looks like a dried out persimmon. So I think yes, we are better off going with a girl like Felicity Huffman. Or
I think there a student that's like a heart of gold, like, and like did not murder someone, like has a chance to be out.
No, I think it's I like student with a heart of gold, but he has to have murdered somebody.
But then he's not getting out.
Maybe
There's no redemption for him though.
Maybe it's like Shawshank Redemption, where
escape.
Well, not that, but in that it was someone else murdered somebody and he didn't do it, but he's in jail for murder. So when we first meet him, we're like, tough character. But then like as we get to know him, maybe we like slowly learn that he actually isn't the murderer.
But I want a scene at the end of it where like The Rock and this guy get like a cup of coffee, you know.
Yeah.
I want there to be some form of hope. Because hope is a beautiful thing, obviously.
And dude, that is another reason why. And obviously, Eddington was not this. Obviously, that was the fucking most depressing end to a movie I've ever witnessed.
Butler would be crazy in this.
Butler. I was gonna say he could be the Heart of Gold guy. But
Yeah, no, that's my point. It's like The Rock and Butler.
I feel like he's kind of a. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Is Butler like dangerous enough? Though is my question. Like, do we have to get someone like uglier?
No, dude. Butler's it. Butler's it. I'm okay with Butler. Butler and The Rock. You could sell me a movie with Butler and The Rock. Alfred and some igneous metamorphic rock, dude. Come on, man.
What?
Alfred is like a Butler name. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
This is a cool movie.
I do like it. And I honestly, I don't hate the end being The Rock helps Butler escape.
Oh, he's gonna escape.
I think that he falls in love with this kid
Yeah.
platonically,
Yeah.
maybe even as a father figure,
Yeah.
and he sees good in him. Now we'd have to come up with a really good reason for him to actually do that, because obviously he goes to lots of prisons and this is happening.
But that kind of changes what the movie is, though.
But what if? I know. You're right, and I agree. I'm kind of turning it
Because it's all about like rehabilitation and like
yeah.
thinking with your mind. And he's like, I did think with my mind, and I planned this escape.
What if the other inmates? Nobody's catching on to The Rock's thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's following what The Rock has to say. It's all bullshit. We're all just we all just want to be Nazis. These guys,
Dude,
not me.
You're making this edit hard for me, man. I gotta go home and do this.
But they all just want to be Nazis, and but there's one kid, this one Austin Butler kid. So it's in a predominantly white area.
Well, there's gangs in prison. You know, you have.
But essentially, what I'm saying is they're gonna kill Austin Butler.
We're gonna kill him now?
No. The gang. That's where it like leads to is The Rock finds out that these gangs want to kill Austin Butler.
And that's the thing. You can't take these classes in prison unless you get to a certain security level. And if you are part of gang violence in prison, they don't let you take.
Do the classes?
They don't let you take The Rock's philosophy class, which is like a real thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I was gonna say that's why The Rock helps him escape.
Yeah.
Because he
Oh.
realizes that these people are gonna kill him, and he's fallen in love with this kid. So it's like either help him escape or these guys just fucking.
Oh, this is kind of cool now. Now it's kind of like a trolley car experiment. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot about philosophy, you
Dude,
know?
that and I
Yeah.
think that is a super interesting idea. Is to like
It challenges The Rock's religion or his new. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think finding the specific philosophy, like you could name the movie after like one of the philosophies that he does, or
Yeah,
whatever.
and it's like the first question he asks. You know,
yeah.
he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen," it's like, "Do two wrongs make a right?" You know, it's one of those.
Would you
Yeah.
get into Trojan horse? I don't know what
Would
philosophy
you?
is.
It's like Descartes said. I like how we haven't mentioned one piece of philosophy, but we're just talking about it like we know.
Yeah, we're really dancing around. Yeah.
I like this. All right, before we get out of here, a director. Any ideas? I got one. It's someone you don't know about. We did an entire episode on him though.
You give me yours first, and then I'll give you mine.
J.C. Chandor.
Oh my God, is that the guy that Will Peters like went to college with or something?
No, he like went to a film camp with a guy who liked him.
You didn't even know him. This kid talks about him like he's gone.
No. I think Catherine Bigelow would kill this. I'm a big fan of Bigelow doing something like this.
I'm trying to think. I honestly, there's been a lot of like TV shows, and I know that this is going to be such an unpopular opinion, but like a Taylor Sheridan, or
I think,
like, like one of those guys that just really like nails the dusty look well.
Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
Good idea. When he puts his mind to like speaking of someone who has maybe been rock pilled a little bit, Taylor Sheridan, I think, is an incredibly talented writer, very, very good filmmaker, but has basically dedicated and leveraged his filmmaking career in order to like build this like ranching empire in Texas. And because of that, maybe takes on too many projects creatively to be to kind of reach the heights that Hell or High Water did, or Sicario did, or one of his, or Wind River,
He
and
did
is now
Sicario?
yeah, dude, he wrote it. Denis Villeneuve directed it, of course, though.
And Sicario 2, Day of Soldado.
He wrote it, and then Stefano Sollima directed Dave Soldado.
That's the one where somebody pooped in the
Yeah, I
movie.
know. I watch that reel a lot. I think it's actually our best reel. But like I think like if we were like Taylor, you know, get on the 666 ranch or the 46 ranch, and just really lock into this for a year.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think I dig that, and I love the idea of The Rock and Butler. That's a pairing that you see in a news headline, and then in a trailer, and then in a movie that will carry you all the way to the end.
All right. So in summary, The Rock next should be doing a movie made by Taylor Sheridan where he plays a philosophy professor in a prison college, and it's all violence and people communicating with their fists and their drugs. Except for The Rock. He wants to teach him to think with their mind. And that's when he meets Austin Butler, he's got two paths, right? He can either go the way of the gangs, or he can go the way of the mind. But when a parole situation becomes too complicated?
But when a parole situation becomes too complicated.
Yeah. He's forced with the two options. Die a good man, join a white supremacist gang, or the third option, the most philosophical of all.
Make sure to establish that you're talking about Austin Butler.
Austin Butler is to escape. And that's what we got. And The Rock helps him. But we learn The Rock helps him at the end.
After Austin Butler falls prey to the gangs and violence of this prison system,
Yeah.
The Rock has to make a philosophical choice. Hey, Mom. Help Austin Butler escape, or
let him die.
or let that fucker die.
Yeah. We got it. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am kind of hyped on this idea. Man, this is what it feels like on this side of the table.
Yeah. No, this is the pitch conversation. This is really hard to clip is the only problem.
Yeah, but that's why we did the thing at the end where we said it so seamlessly.
Yeah.
And I said hi to my mom at that one point.
Yeah.
People are going to love that.
All right, cool. I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
That was easy.
The Rock, man. We didn't talk about his other movies, but maybe that's fine.
Honestly, truly,
They're all the same.
what other movie would you have wanted to talk about?
I kind of ride with Jungle Cruise slightly.
Lame.
It's not a good movie. Don't worry.
It's a super lame take.
Thank you. It's true.
It was an insult. This has been Elevator Pitch. Wow. A lot of friends we've made along the way. What the fuck? Where am I?
All right.
I'm Sean Penn.
Next week on the show, Tanner will not be here, unfortunately, unless you want to be. But
I mean, I still got to do my goodbye episode, so.
Well, don't spoil that.
I still have to do another episode next
Yes.
week.
But no, next week I think I'm going to be with Jerry and Caleb.
Jerry!
I think we're going to do a rewatch episode. It's something we've avoided on Elevator Pitch, but we're going to be talking about a specific movie.
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, yes. But yeah, that's all we got. Anyway, thank you for listening. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Get fucked.
Especially you, fucking Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr, I'm coming for you. Meet me outside of the AMC Grove 14 on opening night, 6 p.m. of The Running Man. You know where to find me, Kerr. His name's just Marker. Isn't that crazy? His name's just Marker.